everyone and welcome back to another mukbang with Aim and Leigh. We are the Munch Bunch UK. Leigh, tell them what we have on the menu.
Amo, we have, I'm not using these by the way guys, it's just to make it look better. We have a chicken stir fry, which you made from scratch, because you're amazing like that. And it's going to taste great, because they always do.
Ooh, so this is your chicken chow stir fry, also with some oyster sauce and spring onion sauce. With a little bit of soy sauce, just a little dabble do, yeah?
Little dibby dabby doo doo.
Okay, so in these guys we have noodles, which are egg noodles from Asda. We have chow mein sauce, oyster sauce, spring onion sauce. We have onions, peppers, water chestnuts, bamboo shoots, spring onion, red pepper, green onion, yellow pepper.
All sorts of stuff in
I'm
this.
telling them what's in there. Leigh has some sweet corn as an additional thing.
And some bloody peppers.
And I think that is it, to be honest with you guys.
She's sneaked in some bloody peppers. Now this is a true crime series. She sneaked in some peppers.
I didn't sneak them in. You don't mind them if you're being honest.
I really do, and that's me being honest, though.
Okay. Anyway, today, true crime. Katherine Knight, a mental patient, somebody who's disturbed, or a cold-blooded, resentful killer. You decide.
Ooh.
So,
got me intrigued already, love.
Exactly.
Diet Coke on the go here as well,
First things first, we'll have a little bit of, couple of fork, or choppy forkfuls.
Can I have my fork, please? My wooden fork.
Which is actually mine.
But I'm borrowing it, it's allowed, isn't it?
Cheeky.
You can't use a fork and chopsticks. Straight in with the chicken, guys. The only thing we're missing, which we didn't have them, was gutted. Some gay houses.
Yeah.
I love them at the minute.
Yeah, I love guy houses, like, I love them.
How are we all? We're all having a lovely day.
Well, this story is going to knock you for 6.
We've been meaning to this for a while now. And quite a few people said, when you do your true crime series, we just have to wait for him to get all the details, that's all.
Now, I'll tell you, it's going to be a long video, but you do not want to miss this story. It is
Well, maybe if it's that good, we could sell the rights to like a movie company. We'll say, look, we've read about it, so that therefore we can.
No word of lie, I'm surprised they haven't. Have a salt and pepper.
The one thing missing from this as well as guy houses there is.
Love pepper, mate.
What's them things called that I like?
Water chestnuts are a few in
they're
there.
so good, the water chestnuts.
Right on my hand.
Koreans, whoever it is, like, who does stir fries now? Is it Koreans? Asian people?
Yeah, a lot of people do stuff.
No, obviously around the world. I mean, like where it's an Asian thing, isn't it? They definitely got the right idea.
Oh, I love anything like this.
So this morning, woke up, hung over to buggery, as we usually am on a weekend. Getting sick and tired of hangovers now. Within 10 minutes, I thought, right, well, you got to get ready. Oh, what the hell for, right? You need to go and swap this gas bottle for my mum. His mum uses like a big gas heater.
Colour gas.
Yeah. You need to go to the gas place and swap. I was like, for God's sake. We go outside, me and Altia. It's alright, it's cold, but it's okay. I said, Dad, I think it's going to snow. I said, don't be silly, T. It's not going to bloody snow, it's just cold. Taxi didn't turn up. 20 minutes later, snow everywhere. Just everywhere. We got covered in it.
Really, really bad. I mean, wow. What do you think?
It's lovely. What was this when you do this?
I love a good stir fry, babe.
Okay.
Woo!
Let's not keep people in suspense any longer, right?
Right. Okay. I'm just going to get me details up.
So the way we're going to do this, guys, because I'm, so she's reading it from her phone. She's going to read a little bit, we'll discuss it, you'll kind of think about what the frig of us read or heard, and then we'll continue. Because otherwise, I'll just sit here for half an hour while Sam's just looking at her phone. That don't work.
Have you had snow? Today is currently Saturday, isn't it? Where in the country?
Yeah, well, by the time this guy, it will be Saturday.
No. That's spicy.
I think everyone's had snow. Then again,
hasn't.
Birmingham didn't have snow today, and yet we did, and we're only like 12 miles away.
15. Where
15.
are we? Anyway, so we're talking about a lady today who in name goes by Katherine Mary Knight, born 24th of October 1955. She's the first Australian woman to be sentenced to life imprisonment without parole. She was convicted of the murder of her partner John Charles Thomas Price in February 2000 and is currently imprisoned.
Still now?
Yeah. She will never get out. She's not allowed.
How old is she now?
Well, she was born 1955.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said she was put in prison at 55. Okay.
She's 65.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay then. So I'm not going to tell you, because in the introduction on this, it tells you what she did. I'm just going to go through a few things with you. So, her early life. She was born and raised in an unconventional, dysfunctional family. Her mother, Barbara, had been married to Jack. And they lived in a small town of Aberdeen in New South Wales, Hunter Valley. Barbara and Jack had 4 sons. Barbara began an adulterous relationship with Ken Knight.
You bastard, Ken. You started this off.
A friend with benefits. That's what it says. A co-worker of her husband. So to begin with, that's already going to be a woman resentful. Okay? Bear that in mind.
What? So she started an affair with a boy called Ken?
The murderer's mother started an affair with a man called Ken Knight.
Oh, so the murderer, what's her name? Katherine?
Hasn't been born yet.
All right.
So, let me just tell you again. Barbara Rogan was married to Jack Rogan. She then had an affair with a man called Ken Knight,
Right.
who then went on to have Katherine Knight.
Okay.
Okay, but she had sons with the first, 2 sons with the first husband.
Right.
Okay? Now, this affair caused a huge, huge scandal. Okay? And the backlash of it was really catastrophic for the whole family. None of the 4 sons that she had with the first husband went to stay with the mum. They stayed with the father. She had an additional 3 children with Ken.
Christ, she's busy, weren't she?
Including 2 twin girls. Katherine Knight was the younger of these 2 twin daughters. In 1959, when Knight was 4, Jack Rowan died. Rogan, yeah. And with these 2 boys living with them, they decided to move in with their mother. Okay? So the 2 of the boys moved in with the mom, Barbara. Mary Knight's father was an alcoholic. That's one of the twin daughters.
I'm already confused.
Really?
Well, I'm not really listening. I'm listening, but at the same time I'm trying to eat, and there's just a lot of names being read.
Leigh. Okay, so basically, he was an alcoholic, openly used violence and intimidation to rape his wife, Barbara, up to 10 times a day. Barbara, in turn, told her daughters intimate details of her sex life and how much she hated sex with men, and unstatably later, when Knight complained to her mother that one of her parents wanted to take part in a sex act she didn't want to perform, Barbara told her to put up with it and stop complaining. Knight claims she was frequently sexually assaulted by members of the family, though not by her father, which continued until she was 11. Although they had minor doubts about the details, psychiatrics accept her claim. All but her family members confirmed that this did happen. Anyway, so moving on. First of all, her mother was a adulteress. She resented sex. She resented men. So she continuously was putting into Katherine's head how bad men are, how annoying they are. So a seed was being planted.
Sounds like a typical woman to me.
Right.
Always complaining about the men.
Okay, so basically in school, Katherine wasn't really a naughty child. In fact, she was described as a model student. But if anybody got on the wrong side of her, she was extremely bad. She'd bullied people. She was such a nasty child to them. But 90% of the time, she was okay. She attended Mull Wellsbrook High School. She was quite a loner though. And she stood over small children. This is when she got angry, okay? She assaulted at least one boy at school with a weapon. One was injured by a teacher she was injured by a teacher because he had to self-defence against her.
Use self-defence.
Yeah, he had to use self-defence. Now, in the family, Katherine Knight was close to her sisters, but she was also close to Oscar Knight, who was her uncle. He committed suicide. She now continues to this day that his ghost visits her in the night. The family moved back to Aberdeen the same year. Okay? Now, moving on. Upon leaving school at 15 without having learned to read or write, she gained employment as a cutter in a clothing factory. 12 months later, she left to start, and she was referred to, "This is my dream job. I'm cutting up offal in the local abattoir." There, she was quickly promoted to boning. So,
dirty cow.
Boning animals and things like that. She was given, and now this is quite significant, so keep this in your head. She was given her own set of butcher's knives, which she was allowed to take home, obviously. The knives were hung over the bed, and, quote, she said, "These will be handy if I need them if somebody comes in to try and hurt me." A habit she continued until incarceration everywhere she lived. Knight first met hard-drinking co-worker David Kellett in 1973. Kellett had previously worked at the railways. His best friend was killed in front of him in a shunting accident. He was later present when a train hit a school bus, killing 6 children in 1968.
He's bad luck. If he was near me, I'd say, "Mate, bugger off, stay away."
Okay, so after that, his behaviour deteriorated anyway, and he lost his job, but soon got work in a nearby Aberdeen abattoir, where he became close friends with Knight's brother. After he began dating Knight, he also occasionally partnered with her twin. Okay?
So if you had a twin, and he'd get it on with both of them.
Yeah, okay? Partnered with her twin. Often, Kellett, the man, would get into a fight with Knight, would step in, but Knight, the other sister, would back him up and be like physically aggressive to anyone that upset her. Anyway, it turned out that Katherine Knight ended up marrying Kellett in 1974 at her request, with the other couple arriving at the service on a motorcycle, with a very intoxicated Kellett on the pillion. As soon as they arrived, Knight's mother Barbara gave Kellett some advice. Okay? Now, the old girl, I'm talking like I'm the man now. The old girl said to me to watch out. "You better watch this one or she'll effing kill you. Stir her up the wrong way or do wrong things and you're effed. Don't even think of playing up, cheating on her, she'll effing kill you." And that was the mother talking. She told me this. She's got something loose. She's got a screw, eh?
Do you eat some dinner in between?
I will in a minute. I just want to get through a little bit of this. On the night of their wedding, Knight tried to strangle Kellett after she explained it was because he fell asleep only having intercourse 3 times. So this is where I'll stop for a minute now. So, she was angry, basically, because he wouldn't have sex more than 3 times. They had it 3 times already.
Yeah, they're dirty bugger.
She tried to strangle him because it was only 3 times.
If you said to me, Leigh, look, you've only done it once, I'm going to strangle you, I'd say, calm down, love. I need a ketchup sandwich and we can carry on, but no need to strangle me over 3 times. He must have been bloody knackered.
You've heard nothing.
And then on top of that, I bet he couldn't put up a bloody fight to stop her strong because he was knackered from the 3 times of going at it.
When you finally see her, you'll be amazed.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? Like everyone thinks, oh, it's always the men you got to walk out for. It's not. Women are dangerous.
Let me tell you something now. This is one of the most intense stories I've ever heard in my life.
And the other thing is, as a bloke, I can say this as a bloke, like, I'd rather a bloke try and attack me than a woman. Because, you know, blokes feel a bit nervous, like, hang on, she's swinging around a sodding axe here, a bit close to my head. I can feel it blowing against my hair. If I punch her in the face, will I get into more trouble than if it was a bloke swinging an axe?
I don't care who the hell you are. You hit me, I'm hitting you back.
No, she's like, oh my God, he hit me. I'm like, oh God, that's it, I'm done for.
No.
Even though you got an axe sticking out the back of your head.
Oh, you had some serious drinking noises then, didn't you? Okay.
Oh,
I'm going to carry on.
food's good, guys.
Okay, the marriage proved to be particularly violent, and on one occasion, a heavily pregnant Katherine burned all of Kelly's clothing and shoes before hitting him across the back of the head with a frying pan, simply because he arrived home late from a darts competition after reaching the finals. In fear of his life, Kelly fled before collapsing on a neighbour's house. He was later treated for a severely fractured skull. Police wanted to charge Knight, but she changed her behaviour to Kelly and talked him into dropping the charges. In May 1976, after the birth of their first child, Melissa Ann Kellett, he left for another woman and he moved to Queensland. Apparently unable to cope with Knight's abuse, the next day she was pushing her newborn baby in a pram down the main street. Violently throwing the pram from side to side, she was admitted to St Elmo's Hospital in Tamworth. Will you stop that, please?
Are you some onions and peppers? I don't
Just
want.
leave them on the side. She was admitted to the hospital where she was diagnosed with postnatal depression. She spent several weeks recovering. After being released, Knight placed 2-month-old Melissa on a railway line shortly after a train was due. She then stole an axe, went into the town and threatened to kill several people. A man known in the district as Old Ted, who was near the railway line, found and rescued Melissa, by all accounts only minutes before the train passed. Knight was arrested and taken to St Elmo's Hospital again, but she apparently recovered and signed herself out the following day. Now, a second. Why would that hospital allow her to leave after what she did with that child?
No, I don't know. I don't know all the facts and details, but maybe she hasn't been arrested, so you can sign yourself out, I guess. Yeah, she hasn't been cautioned by the police. Well, then the police messed up. They should have arrested her and said, love, you've been using an axe in a dangerous fashion. You've got to stay with us for a few months until you get your head sorted and stop swinging it around.
Okay, so this is where it gets really juicy. A few days later, Knight slashed the face of a woman with one of her knives, you know, the knives that are above her bed.
Yeah.
And demanded she drive her to Queensland to find Kellett.
Uh-oh.
The woman escaped after they stopped at a service station. By the time the police arrived, Knight had taken a young boy hostage and was threatening him with a knife. She was disarmed when police attacked her with brooms and was admitted to yet another psychiatric hospital.
I'd be scared of any copper with swung a broom at my head.
Okay, now listen to this. Knight told the nurse she had intended to kill the mechanic at the service station because he had repaired Kellett's car, which had allowed him to leave. And then she was going to kill them both, her husband and his mother, when she arrived in Queensland. When the police informed Kellett of the incident, he left his new girlfriend and moved to Aberdeen with his mother to support Knight. He got back with her.
Fuck that.
Knight was released on August the 19th 9th in 1976 into the care of the mother-in-law, along with Kelly, and they moved to a place called Ipswich, which is,
near Great Yarmouth.
Not here, in Brisbane, where she obtained a job in meatworks. Okay, so keep that in mind. On the 6th of March 1980, they had another daughter, Natasha Marie, and in 1984, Knight left Kelly and moved first to her parents' house in Aberdeen, then rented a house nearby in Muswellbrook. Although she returned to work at an abattoir, she injured her back, and the following year she went on disability pension. She no longer needed to rent accommodation close to her work. The government gave her a housing commission residence in Aberdeen. Later then on, she met David Saunders. Knight met 38-year-old David Saunders in 1986. A few months later, he moved in with her and her daughters, although he kept his own apartment in Scone. Knight soon became jealous regarding what he out. He would move back to his apartment, there she would invariably follow him and beg him to return. In May 1987, she cut the throat of his 2-month-old dingo pup in front of him, for no more reason than to show an example of what would happen if he had an affair. Because before going on to knock him unconscious with another frying pan in June 1988, she gave birth to their daughter Sarah, which prompted Saunders to put a deposit on her house. Knight paid off the deposit when her workers' compensation come through in 1989.
Is the office frigging head having a kid with someone who's just knocked him out with a frying pan and killed his dingo?
Knight decorated the house throughout with animal skulls, horns, skins, rusty animal traps, leather jackets, old boots, machetes, rakes, pitchforks, and there was absolutely no space left, including the ceilings was left uncovered.
He didn't have any space for his DVD collection.
After an argument when she hit Saunders in the face with an iron before stabbing him in the stomach with a pair of scissors, he'd moved back to Scone but later returned home to find that she'd cut all his clothes up. Saunders took out a service leave and went into hiding. Knight tried to find him, but no one admitted to knowing where he was. Several months later, Saunders returned to see his daughter and found out Knight had gone to the police and unjustly told them she was afraid of him. They issued her with an apprehended violence order against him. Moving on to John Chillingworth. In 1990, Knight became pregnant with a 43-year-old former abattoir co-worker John Chillingworth and gave birth the following year to a baby boy called Eric. Their relationship lasted 3 years. She left him and she started having an affair with John Price.
Should we do a part 2 of this?
No, it's nearly finished.
All right.
No, it's going to be a long video, but you've got to listen.
I wonder about you eating some dinner.
I'm not that hungry now.
So defeated the objects of the video, innit? It's a mukbang.
Oh, God. No, this is a true crime video.
Mukbang.
You know that when you have cooked it, you don't fancy it, you?
We'd never eat if that was the case. I'd probably make all the meals, apart from this one. Yeah, if they were crazy, like, I wouldn't have had a baby with a woman. Throwing frying pans around, sticking scissors in my stomach, cutting up my clothes. I mean, that's one step too far, that is. I aimed to smash my TV years ago. We got in a massive row. We just tipped the TV over. Not my TV, our TV. And the screen just smashed up. Oh, bloody hell. It's one of them ones where you go out to sleep. Both of us went to sleep. The next one was like, oh shit, it wasn't a bad dream, was it?
Hang on now, tell them, you did say something horrendous to me.
I can't remember what I said. It was a big argument, I remember that.
Thought sod you, mate.
We're talking about over 10 years ago. It wasn't like last week. We've all been there, don't we? Where you just want to like kill the person you're with. I'm sure we've all been there. I've no what to kill you, but...
Not really.
When you smashed into the TV up, I was quite close to it.
I chose the TV rather than yourself, Leigh. Oh. Carry on.
What you're thinking so far, guys, of the story? You enjoyed it? I think
if you think this is anything...
I think each week we should mix it up there. You do one, I'll do one.
Steals all my ideas.
Have a story. I'm kind of sit here for like 2 hours once a week. Gets a bit boring for me, this is.
Well, in a minute. Okay. John Charles Thomas Price, born 4th of April 1955. was the father of 3 children when Knight had an affair with him. He was a terrific man, liked by the entire community. His own marriage ended in 1988 while his 2-year-old daughter had remained with his former wife. The 2 older children lived with him. Price was well aware of Knight's violent reputation as she moved into his house in 1995. His children really liked her. He was making a lot of money. He worked in the local mines. And apart from the violent arguments, the first part of their life together was a bunch of roses. In 1998, Knight and Price fought over his refusal to marry her. In retaliation, she videotaped items he had allegedly stolen from his work and sent them to his boss. Although the items was out of date, medical kits that he had scavenged from the company's rubbish tip, Price was fired from a job that he'd been in for 17 years.
Typical.
And his boss had no choice but to sack him. The same day, he kicked her out and returned to her home, while news of what she had done spread through the town. A few months later, Price restarted the relationship. Although he now refused to allow her to move in with him, the fighting had become even more frequent.
Might be funny, this woman must have been really good looking.
Oh,
no.
That. She wasn't.
No, why the hell? So, one man gets hit over the head with a frying pan, stabbed in the stomach, all this sort of stuff, he goes back to her. Another man, she's going to kill the mechanic because he helps him get away. He moves back to the area. This man, she gets him fired from a job, and he's like going psycho on his ass. He kicks her out. He's got rid of her. He gets back with her. There must have been something good about her. I reckon maybe she was a good cook, maybe a good cleaner. Maybe she, did something really nice with a slice of toast from each day. I don't know. But there's got to have been something that kept them coming back.
So, the fighting became more frequent, and most of his friends would no longer have anything to do with him if they remained together. Okay. In February 2000, a series of assaults on Price culminated with Knight stabbing him in the chest. Finally fed up, he kicked her out of the house, and on 29th of February, he stopped at the Scone Magistrates Court on his way home and took out a restraining order. Just have a sip of pop.
Yeah, that's the worst thing you can do. If you've got a crazy bitch after you, sorry, but I've told women don't be offended. But if you've got a crazy person after you, don't take out a restraining order. It's just going to piss them off even more. Because literally a piece of paper ain't going to stop them coming near you if they don't care what happens to them.
In his attempt, anyway, to keep her away from both himself and his children, that afternoon, Price told his co-workers that if he did not come to work the next day, it's because Knight had murdered him. Despite their pleas that Price not return home, he stated he was afraid Knight would kill his children if he did not. Price arrived home to find Knight, although not there herself, he sent the children away for a sleepover at a friend's house. He spent the evening with his neighbours before returning home to bed at 11 p.m. Earlier that day, Knight had bought some new black lingerie and videotaped all her children whilst making comments which have since been interpreted as crude will. She later arrived at Price's house while he was sleeping and watched television for a few minutes before having a shower. She then woke Price up, they had sex, which after he fell to sleeping.
So he was scared of her, and yet he still slept with her. Mm-hmm. She must have brought something along that got him going.
At 6 a.m. the next day, the neighbour became concerned that Price's car was still in the driveway. When it did not arrive to work, the employer sent a worker around to see what was wrong. Both neighbour and worker tried knocking on Price's bedroom window to wake him, but alerted the police after noticing blood on the front door. Police arrived at 8 a.m, breaking down the door to find Price's body, with Knight in a comatose state from taking a large number of pills.
Bitch gone bad.
She had stabbed Price with a butcher's knife while he was sleeping, according to the blood evidence. He awoke and tried to turn the light on before he attempted to escape, whilst Knight chased him through the house. He managed to open the front door and get outside. He either stumbled back or she dragged him back inside to the hallway, where he finally died after bleeding out. Later, Knight went to Aberdeen and withdrawed £1,000 from Price's account at the ATM. Price's autopsy revealed that he'd been stabbed at least 37 times in both the front and the back of his body and wounded in many vital organs. Several hours after Price died, Knight skinned him and hung his skin on a meat hook in the arch of the door to the lounge. She then decapitated Price, cooked his head, boiled his head, cooked other parts of his body, serving up the meat with a baked potato, pumpkin, beetroot, zucchini, cabbage, yellow squash and gravy in 2 settings at the dinner table.
She did a mukbang. She was one of the original mukbanger. She recorded it.
Along with notes beside each plate, each having the name of one of Price's children on it. She was preparing to serve his body parts to his children. A third meal was thrown on the back lawn for unknown reasons, and it was speculated that Knight attempted to eat it, but she did not. This has now been put forward to claim she has now found the head in a pot with vegetables. The pot was still warm, estimated to be at 40 to 50 degrees and 122 Fahrenheit, indicating that the head had been taken place. Cooking started early in the morning. Sometime later, Knight arranged the body, which left with the left arm draped over a 1.5 litre soft drink bottle with the legs crossed underneath it. This was claimed in court as an act of defilement, demonstrating Knight's contempt for Price had left him handwritten note on top of the photograph of Price. Blood stain covered in small pieces of flesh. It read, "Time you got back, John, for raping my daughter. You to Beck," Price's daughter. "You to Beck," the daughter's name's Rebecca. "For Ross. For little John. Now play with little John's D-I-C-K. John, Price." Didn't make no sense.
No, that makes sense to me.
Didn't. She was clearly, Anyway.
I don't think that's what give away the fact she's a bit of a nut job.
It ended out Knight's initial offer to plead guilty was rejected. She basically, this is how it ended. So they questioned her sanity. Of course they did.
You don't give her a job in Sainsbury's, would you, after that?
No, so that they ejected, but the judge said life imprisonment with no parole. She went up, she like, what's they call it? What? They asked to review the case type of thing.
Or did she appeal it?
Yeah, like appealing it.
Right.
Like, she said, the psychiatric people determined if she was fit to stay in prison. It says that she was fit to stay in prison, but she had borderline personality disorder. She is now, on the 8th of November, Justice O'Keefe pointed out that the nature of the crime and Knight's lack of remorse required a severe penalty. He sentenced her to life imprisonment, refused to fix a non-parole period, and ordered that her papers be marked never to be released. The first time that this had been imposed on a woman in Australian history. In June 1996, Knight appealed for a life sentence, claiming that a penalty of life in prison without possibility of parole was too severe for the killing.
Well, to be fair, I mean, she did only kill the one person, and I think what she messed up with putting on zucchini like crap with that meal. She just had a good old bowl of home-cooked chips, some sweet corn.
Leigh, this is actually someone's family. You're taking the mick.
No, but we're told it's not something that's happened today, is it? It happened a long time ago. We take the mick about loads of stuff. It's horrible what she did, but we can't have it too seriously.
The judge said the crime was appalling, almost beyond contemplation in a civilised society, and she will never, ever, ever be released. And I'm going to show you a picture of this woman.
Yeah, it might be an idea, that. Guys, for anyone offended by the fact that she should have a bowl of chips with it, okay, I take that back. Maybe some boiled potatoes. But it's only a bit of lightheartedness.
This is her.
Who the hell would want to go back to that each time?
But she looks just like a normal...
She looks like a teacher. Not in England, like a normal American teacher you see in the films back in the day. Like, hello, kids. Yeah, I'm your teacher today. Don't piss me off or boil your bits in a pan of water.
So, what did you think of that then? Did you find that a good crime story?
Did you enjoy it, guys? Was you hooked? Was you on the edge of your seat? Was you waiting for Aim to start eating the bloody food? I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good, Amo. You picked a really good one there. When I do it, guys, it won't be like reading for ages and whatnot. I'll just like pick a couple of short stories and I'll tell you them and then we'll just discuss them. And that's what we'll do. We've got like I say, we've got a good one. We've got a story to tell you on an upcoming video, which yeah, we'll get into that one on our next video actually. But it's actually one of our subscribers. It's his story, so I want to talk to you about that one. It's not a true crime thing, but it is true, and it was a crime. So
No, but
guess so.
I really can't believe she sat there and just thought, I'm gonna skin him, and then I'm gonna eat him, and I just.
Yeah, I can't believe the bloke woke up with this crazy bitch in his house who's took a restraining order out against. He's like, if I don't make it in tomorrow, I'm dead. Don't go home, John. I've got to. She might kill my kids.
Yeah, but then he has sex with her.
That's my point. If I get woken up in the middle of the night and say, Leigh, come on, man, let's get it on.
I've stabbed you up.
And I'm like, do you remember the last time we was getting it on and you stabbed me in the, wherever it was?
Stomach.
The stomach, you really hurt me. Do you remember getting me the sack from my job? Do you remember threatening me and my kids? How about you take your lovely little ass down the road and find yourself another man to sleep with? Because this man is going back to sleep. And if he's daft enough to have sex with, that's just, you are playing with fire, unfortunately.
You're kind of inviting it, aren't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's me done.
I'm scared of anyone these days. Like if me and him split up, or like these dating apps and stuff. I've never used them, but the thought meeting up with a complete stranger, it's a scary one, ain't it? Really, when you think about it. Or meeting up, just something as simple as meeting a woman in a club or whatever, wherever you meet women these days. I don't know, on bus stops, I don't know, chicken factories, whatever.
Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
Yeah, Blackpool Pleasure Beach, like we did. And you get it on, and you're like, the next day, if it's a one-night stand, I'd be scared shitless. Because before me and Anne got together, it wasn't a big thing. Like, there wasn't a lot of, he forced me and stuff when, it isn't true. But you hear about it more and more these days about blokes.
All the other way round.
Yeah, of course blokes do it. I'm not saying they don't. Blokes are.
Yeah, I mean, women I know it's...
What do you mean?
Women are capable of it.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying now. Well, look at EastEnders and Mick and that woman. But I'm just saying, I'd be scared stiff. I'm sleeping with someone on a one-night stand, I hope to God she's not a bunny boiler. Starts nicking me socks out my drawer and taking them home with her, or telling people I forced her to do stuff. I think it's a scary world we live in. Good job I got myself a name who just smashed up a TV once every 10 years. I enjoyed that video. That story was really good.
I want to do stories that are really out there, not like your average. This happened to that person, proper oh my god, that's insane kind of story.
We'll mix it up like Leigh will do hers, and I'm not even fussed at doing true crime ones. So if I do one, then it'll be a bit of a variety on there.
Do your own thing, choose something that you want to talk about.
I will do with true crime. Because there's no point me just doing a variety of series on here, is there?
No, but I mean, we could mix it up as in one subject for you, another one for me.
We'll figure it out when we're off camera. We've got to actually roll because I'm finished. Hope you enjoyed.
That was a nice stir fry.
That was a lovely stir fry.
You've ate a lot.
I've eaten all mine. You've only eaten a bit of yours.
Do you know, honestly, because I was thinking about the story and it was quite a lot of cooking involved in that, wasn't it? Chopping.
I think what we should do next time, because if they know you're going to be on your phone the whole time, they're not going to watch on because you won't be eating your dinner. We should maybe do the true crimes on the other channel where there's no food involved.
I will eat my dinner. It's just because I cooked it. I just wasn't that hungry after I cooked.
No, I mean,
this sort of thing. That's why when I cook when we're off channel, I put mine in the microwave for later on. So if you do it the one day when I'm going to do it, I will eat it because I'll be hungry. I wasn't hungry.
Fair enough. Okay, Emma, take us away, baby.
Okay, guys. So remember to be nice. Don't stab your husband and skin him alive.
That's sort of rhyme, that did,
yeah. Please check out our Instagram. Check out our Munchies Delight vlog channel. Check out our community tab. Don't forget to turn on your notification post because
post. That's
bell.
Right. That's it. It's a little bell up the top.
The bell, so you don't miss our future videos. And I know I didn't say it exactly the way I did, but it's not matter, does it? We can have a day.
Bell on the notification bell. Click all videos somehow, and then you'll be notified of all videos we post. Whereas if you just hit the bell, sometimes it'll only tell you about some videos we post.
Oh, and I had a can of Fanta. You haven't already noticed.
Bit bloody like
I've still got Father Christmas on there.
Hey, oh yeah, and the Diet Coke. It's an old packet in that they've had in the shop. Right, guys, thank you.
Hope you enjoyed it, guys. Let me know in the comments if you did, if you want more.
If you have any stories that you want Em to look into, and if she finds it interesting enough, she'll maybe tell it. So you could say, oh, that story about Leigh when he killed Aim for smashing the TV. Do you remember that one? Yeah. And then she might tell that story.
Yeah.
A ghost might, anyway.
Any stories, I'm happy to help and talk about, whatever.
As long as it's interesting and we think it's going to grab everyone's attention. If it's just like me Uncle Jim killed me Auntie Margaret because she burnt the dinner, then we probably won't tell that story. That's yeah, out there.
When I looked online, I specifically wanted to find like really crazy kind of. I mean, I'm not being funny. You hear of murders, unfortunately, every single day, but you don't hear of them cooking the victim.
No, that's like Hannibal in it, sort of thing. Hannibal Lecter style food. Right, guys, thank you.
And I'll do it for a laugh. I want a room with a view and a nice bottle of Chianti.
She loves doing that. I can't do it. Fair
All right, guys. See you. Bye-bye.
Laters.
Bye.